Hey lovely sexy hobby people, welcome to today's video, which is Dungeons and Dragons issue 27. I've literally just had my delivery like a few minutes ago. When did it arrive? So it's arrived today, Friday the 19th of April 2024. We get 27, which is inspiration tokens, some more dice with 28 in a tin, 29, some dice with daggers in, and then issue 30 is a giant green die. So let's have a look at 27. Have a look at those in a little while. Let's file those away. Right, said Fred. Here we go. Dungeons Dragons Adventurer. Learn to play, explore. Environment. Underwater adventuring. We're still on our water planet at the moment. We've our last session, which was last night, the 18th of April. We did have some ship combat. However, it didn't entirely go anywhere near the way our DM was hoping it was going to go. We managed to obliterate the pirate ship before it even came alongside, because early on in the campaign our DM gave us a Helm of Brilliance, which she said would be something that you could put on your ship, which is what we did. And I must admit, we have totally obliterated the first pirate ship that wanted to come along and try and give us some hassle with that Helm of Brilliance. But we've also done some underwater swimming and exploring, etc. We use obviously the potion of water breathing, which I think lasts for an hour. It'll probably come up in here. Ring of swimming. So one of our crew has been given mariner's armor. Another one has a ring of swimming. But the rest of us have to make deal with the potions, which underwater breathing potions are common. I think, were they common? I don't think they were uncommon. I think they were common. But they were really handy, because once we'd defeated what we had to defeat in the water, we were then able to find its lair and ransack the lair. Because of the amount of time that was given to us with the potion of water breathing, and yeah, it was really handy. So underwater combat is a thing, and underwater breathing is something that can be done with a potion or a magic item. Don't lose the plot. Keeping track of your campaign helps make your characters' adventures feel like they're happening in a living, changing world. Okay, so this is sage advice for the DM. And essentially, I'm assuming it's just going to be advice about keeping stuff on board. You know, keeping stuff in the direction that the DM wants it to go. Keep an adventure log, yeah, she does that. Maintain an NPC roster. So we have, because we basically led a revolt on a slave island and freed a load of slaves and like hijacked a load of ships, we have a large crew with a number of experts on the crew, and so we have somewhere around about 100 like NPCs on our boat, but only about a dozen at most are considered main NPCs. We have some experts that are additional, sort of like fighters, clerics, bard, and that each one of our characters has sort of like taken on as a buddy. So we play those two characters. In the game. So when it comes to combat, we roll for both those characters, which has led to some really good like duo, double team up combos, and it's been really impressive actually the way that the other players have sort of like taken it on board and sort of like embraced rather the extra character that they're now lumbered with. There are kind of restraints on those experts that we have. You know, they're not going to level up in the same way that we level up, but they will obviously improve. I just think that RDM is going to do it at a slightly slower rate. Then we have sharing stories. Dungeon masters and players often need to work together to tell a cool story. The Arc Conundrum. For example, in Encounter 27, Voyage to the Moonshae Isle, the player characters are approached by Lord Ander Stonecliffe, who is keen to send them on a quest to the Moonshaes. This development is key to the campaign's arc, as Lord Stonecliffe has hidden an agenda and is actively trying to manipulate the players to leave Neverwinter and head in this direction. But this runs the risk of the players themselves feeling manipulated. Perhaps they don't want to depart Neverwinter, or they simply have no interest in helping an overbearing gentleman. Yeah, we've had some side quests that were introduced. I don't think the plan that our DM had initially is working to how she thought it was going to go. She was kind of hoping that, you know, we'd get a ship, get to the main central like starport of the island, have a Spelljammer chair and be off on adventures interplanetary by now. And that was like a year ago. So yeah, best laid plans never survive first contact with the enemy, and everything changes when you bring in like just random players. Underwater combat. Combat 9, picking a fight when your head is beneath the waves or you're trapped in a flooded dungeon comes with its own challenges. Underwater visibility, clear bright light 60 feet, clear dim light 30 feet, murky water, no light 10 feet. Okay, that's cool. That's an interesting thing. Is that a two-headed shark? That's a two-headed shark. That's a two-headed shark. That's cool. Sorry. Excuse me. Meh. Yeah, that's cool. Bit overexcited about that, but water fight, melee or ranged. Some ranged attacks have two ranges. The smaller number is the weapon's normal range, and the larger number is the long range. Your attack roll has disadvantage when the target is beyond normal range, and you can't attack a target beyond the weapon's long range. However, when fighting underwater, the weapon automatically misses a target beyond its normal range. For example, if someone firing a short bow on dry land can hit a target within 80 feet, but can attempt to send a bow up to 300, send their arrow up to 320 feet, and roll their attack with disadvantage, underwater an attack with the same short bow can only target a creature up to 80 feet. Okay, that's cool. Adds in a difficulty option. Sidekicks Part 1. Character creation. Need some assistance on your adventures. Recruit some help. Not every member of your adventuring party needs to be a player. PC, playable character. it is entirely possible for a non-player character to join the questing fun, such an NPC might be someone a party meets on their travels, perhaps a person the heroes have rescued, who then elects to stick with the group, or a villager who befriends or romances one of the party, or even a monstrous foe who decides to switch allegiance and save their own hide. A nice sort of like wolf-looking dog there. Sidekick creation. Who plays a sidekick? There are a number of options for handling sidekicks. 1. A player controls them as a second character, which is what we're doing. This makes sense for sidekicks tied to their character's backstory. The DM controls the sidekick. 2. This has the downside of making things a bit more complicated for the DM. 3. A player controls them as their only character. This could be a guest to your group or someone new to the game. The sidekick is controlled by the player group as a whole, discussing between them how the sidekick behaves. Yeah, so some of our sidekicks are, like I said, we've got 6 experts on our boat now that we can use. We've just had a new member join us because one of our old members died and they've moved on to another game. They're a Warforged, so that was an interesting session last night, meeting them. But we have a Leonin fighter as one of our experts. We have a what's the bug race? I can't think of the bug race name, like the ant people race. We have a half-orc druid, we have a human female bard, and we have a GIF shooter. So Leonin, so we got fighter, bard, gunslinger, and the cleric, and we've just had I think it was a sorcerer, another tiefling sorcerer join us, or warlock, that was it, warlock, as a character. Now I try and make sure that like our sidekicks have miniatures, because I like to see, because I've got a wargaming background, I like to see the miniatures on the table. So the Leonin fighter I purchased and then painted. I forget, I got it from Etsy, but this guy goes with our tiefling sorceress. So we've got 2 tiefling magic users in the party. I've purchased myself a dog as a companion. So I purchased a dog that I've and this came from Ott's Workshop on Etsy, so they're worth a look. So I purchased a dog which I've trained up, and then I think as I progress I might purchase another dog which has like a little harness and pouches on. So I might later on in the story find a shop that will make me a leather harness and the pouches to go on my dog, and so on. So yeah, I think sidekicks can be really good and companions can be really good. Our chap that died, he was a halfling ranger, and he had a raven as a companion, and the raven didn't die, so we've still got the raven in the party that our tiefling sorceress has befriended. Oops. That our tiefling sorceress has befriended, and he's still flying around on the boat at the moment, occasionally coming down and being friendly. But yeah, I think, we've added a lot of stuff into our campaign, and it's been really great, to expand, because it also gives us an extra dimension to different characters that we might not normally play. and that's been really good. Now, Tabaxi, character creation B. It's time to let the cat people out of the bag. So, Leonin are very lion-like. Tabaxi are more big cat-like, you know, cheetah, tiger, that sort of thing, as I understand it. Long ago, a divine being called the Cat Lord created the Tabaxi, feline humanoids. While all are cat-like in appearance, some are also naturally cat-like in personality as well as appearance, travelling the world with boundless curiosity, or instead basking in the sun in endless lethargy. Distant origins. Like cats, Tabaxi are well adapted to the climate they live in, whether they dwell in deserts, grasslands, jungles or mountains. It's said that their people originated in a land far to the west of Faerun called Mazdika. Most Tabaxi names derive from the clan their ancestors hailed from. Each clan derives its name from notable aspects of its territory, such as the Mountain Tree Clan or the Bright Cliffs Clan. Each Tabaxi's name, meanwhile, draws from their environment, clan history and lore, leading to such colourful monikers as Cloud on the Mountaintop, Smoking Mirror and Left-Handed Hummingbird. Well, there you go. Right, demons versus devils, the Blood War, Law B, evil versus evil for the fate of the universe. In the evil corner, it's the devils. In the other evil corner, it's the demons. Let the fight commence. There exists eternal struggles within the cosmos, but not always between the forces of good and evil. Some are set between opposing forces of evil itself. The blood war has waged for untold millennia and perhaps will forevermore. Essentially, it's a brutal, relentless conflict set between the demons of the abyss and the devils of the nine hells. Who are the demons? Who are the devils? The blood war in campaigns. What is the balance? And so on. So here we go. Here's our encounter. Voyage of the Moonshae Isles. Third level. Balance. Encounter background. Excuse me. Crap. Our heroes have thwarted the Ashmedai cult's schemes in Neverwinter for now. The cult's secret leader, Lord Ander Stonecliff, seeks to dispose of these meddlesome adventurers, or at least cunningly bend their wretched heroism to his nefarious cause. To that end, he found the perfect quarry, the cloven sceptre, an unholy record of Asmodeus, Lord of the Nine Hells. The sceptre was lost at sea many years ago, but recently Ander discovered its whereabouts in a stretch of sea near the mist-cloaked Moonshae Isles. He has summoned the characters to his manse to send them on this dangerous and distant quest. Either they will find the epic relic and bring it to him, or they will perish in the attempt. Okay. It'll be interesting to see. So we've got a letter here to the adventurers. Brave adventurers, tales of your heroic deeds abound, particularly ones in which you have squashed the nefarious cults that have taken root in our beautiful city. You would do me a great honour by meeting me in person so I may hear your stories firsthand. Furthermore, there is a matter of importance that I wish to discuss with you, an opportunity for adventure with great reward. It may interest you to know that I have the ear of Lord Dagalt Neverember in many matters. I shall await you tomorrow after sunset in my manor. You will find directions attached to this letter. Okay. The Wave Mother's Mercy. That sounds like... it doesn't take long to locate the Wave Mother's Mercy in the city's harbour, so that's your ship. Captain Rena Wildcloak. Lawful neutral halfling. And here we go. here is our boat. So forecastle and quarter deck. We have the main deck. So we've got a ballista there, ballista there. Oh, it's oar powered. Oar deck. 22 benches are built to the deck of the lower deck, each with 20-foot long oar. When the ship is rowed, crew members on these sit at benches to work the oars. 10 spare oars hang on the walls of the ship. Okay, so we've got main deck. The main deck. The ship is equipped with 2 mangonels, a type of catapult. Okay, catapults. Their statistics are on page 172 if a player character decides to use them in a fight. A hardcover 10-foot square opening leads to the lower deck. There. Railing and rowboats. So, forecastle has a ballista, and 7, the quarter deck, has a ballista, and that looks like your your lot. Three. So 2 is officers' quarters, 3 is captain's quarters. Siege weapon ammunition in 4. It's up front. 5 is supplies. You've got your forecastle, you got your quarter deck, you got your oar deck, the privy, the medical cabin, which is there, the guest cabins and brig. Doesn't sound good that the brig doubles up as the guest cabin. The hold and the armory. So that's quite a nicely laid out ship. Sailing to the Moonshades, and then we have some stat blocks. So we have stat blocks for thugs. We've had those before. The pirate captain, pirate deck wizard. She looks nice, and her enchantment cantrip. So there you go. That's 27. Come down. Let's have a look at our inspiration tokens. So we get 5 more of these by the look of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have already had 5, so that gives us 10. I wonder if they're going to repeat this again in a later issue. But I mean, I like them. They've got the ampersand in the middle, inspiration around the outside. I like them. Some people, again, just going by what others have said, I think they missed a trick in not being able to put at least a 25mm base into it, which is a shame. So you can't, unfortunately, because that would give it stability then. But yeah, not much to say other than, like I say, we've now got 10. I haven't used these yet, although I kind of like make them available to our DM. They haven't been used for anything in the game, but you never know, maybe a bit later on. But yeah, cool. You now have 10 of those, and I hope I will see you in the next video. Alright, take care, bye bye.